A very good evening to you on this 6th day of May 2024. I trust you're having yourself a wonderful Monday, of course, being quite a wet and rainy season that we are in. And tonight, let's forget politics for a moment, because we need to address the issue of demystifying floods and water management. We have torrents of water. That means, therefore, that there will be, there have been floods, and of course, that means increased water levels. And therefore, how do we ensure that? Because last week, remember when you were speaking to the director of the Kenya Meteorological Department, he was telling us that more often than not, El Nino is followed by La Nina. Do you know what La Nina is, by the way? It is the hot and sunny season. Remember, we've also come out of a hot and dry season before the rains fell. So how do we then ensure that we are not caught up unawares just like last time? We thank you for joining us. I am George Maringa, and tonight I will be hosting none other than Professor Engineer Bansi Mati, Director, Water Research and Resource Center at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. She is a professor in this field and will be talking to us more about that. There she is, and we shall be demystifying floods and water management. That conversation coming your way in a short while, but first, the highlights. Tonight, former Treasury CS Ukur Yatani's case takes a turn after his nephew is arrested and close to $500,000 of suspected earnings from corruption seized by EACC. Latest numbers from the countrywide flood disaster paints a grim picture for Kenyans, as the toll is 229 lives lost, 174 injured, and 75 missing. Tens of thousands of households affected by the flooding. And President William Ruto offers cash and material aid to flood-affected Mathare residents as the government begins countrywide relief effort for flood victims.
Tumenunua blanketi ya kutosha, tumenunua mattress ya kutosha, tumenunua chakula ya kutosha, na vile vile tutawapatia pesa ya mahali ya kuishi.
Catherine Simaloy is on sign language interpretation tonight. We thank you for joining us on the program. Let's begin, shall we? Ex-Marsabit Governor and ex-Treasury CS Ukur Yatani's troubles appear to get deeper after the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC obtained orders from the High Court to freeze 62,100,000 Kenya shillings that was seized from his nephew, believed to be part of proceeds from illegal activity, as Natasha Wairimu now reports.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC has obtained orders from the High Court preserving $460,000, which is equivalent to 62.1 million Kenya shillings, seized by the Commission in the ongoing investigation targeting former Cabinet Secretary and Marsabit Governor Ukur Yatani. The amount, which is in 4,600 pieces of $100 denominations, was seized from his nephew Ibrahim Doko Yatani. The freezing orders, which were issued by Justice Esther Maina on Friday, 3rd May 2024, will be enforced for a period of 6 months. In its court papers, EACC told the High Court that possession of the amount was in circumstances raising reasonable suspicion that the money may constitute proceeds of corruption or unexplained wealth, or that the respondent is engaged in money laundering, hence the need to investigate the source. The court heard that during the period of interest, Ibrahim Doko Yatani, through his company called Al Habib Enterprises, irregularly received 71,790,897 Kenya shillings from the county government of Marsabit. Through its advocate Jackie Kibogi, EACC further told Justice Maina that it is apprehensive that unless the court issues an order authorizing the continued custody of the cash, Ibrahim Doko Yatani may demand unconditional release and proceed to dispose of or transfer the cash, thereby frustrating any intended forfeiture proceedings to the detriment of the public. Ukur Yatani, together with the sitting Marsabit Governor Muhammad Ali, top county officials and close family members are under investigations for theft of public funds, abuse of office, procurement irregularities, conflict of interest and unexplained wealth. Reporting for TV47, I am Natasha Wairimu.
Thank you, Natasha, for that. Amidst a relentless onslaught of floods across the nation, this toll is stark. 229 lives have been lost, 174 injured and 75 missing. Nairobi County alone grapples with 40,000 affected households as relief efforts intensify. As concerns about funding and resources grow, rescue missions intensify, yet the scale of devastation demands more. Ann Odida with the details.
For the past month, floods have mercilessly swept through various regions of the country, leaving behind a trail of devastation. As of Monday, the grim statistics paint a dire picture: 229 lives lost, 174 individuals injured, and 75 people reported missing. The impact extends far beyond human casualties, with 46,937 households affected, comprising 234,686 individuals. The education sector has also suffered, with 1,967 schools in 40 counties bearing the brunt of the floods. Nairobi County in particular faces significant challenges, with an estimated 40,000 households directly impacted by the floods. In response to the crisis, efforts have been made to identify areas in need of urgent relief assistance. Relief aid has been distributed to 20 counties so far. The situation is especially critical in arid and semi-arid lands, where an estimated 300,000 people will rely on government assistance to survive the next 3 months. In Nakuru County, Governor Susan Kihika has reported a staggering death toll of 62, with 30 individuals still missing. The urgency of the situation is underscored by the need to relocate 800 households, as well as the burial of 60 individuals set to be conducted on Thursday. Bearing in mind the magnitude of the floods, efforts have been made at the legislative level with the presentation of the National Disaster Management Bill in Parliament. Despite budget allocations totaling 3.85 billion Kenyan shillings, concerns persist regarding the adequacy of funding across various ministries, including ASAL, Roads and Interior. The Interior Ministry has been at the forefront of rescue and relief efforts, evacuating 181,000 people from 40,500 households. However, the scale of the crisis necessitates additional resources, prompting the deployment of 3 aircrafts, 2 caravans and 1 helicopter for essential operations. 3 civilian aircraft have been enlisted to address the most pressing cases of need. Ann Odida, TV47.
Thank you, Ann, for that. Junior secondary school teachers have continued their protests across the country, urging the government to listen to them and act on their complaints. Our very own Isaac Famba has prepared the following story.
Junior secondary school teachers in the country are intent of forcing the government to accept to their demands as they continue with their protests around the country to push for permanent employment. Some of the wishes of those teachers in Meru County is to be given a permanent employment as they have been serving for contract basis.
We have concerns that emanate from the ruling that the High Court gave us on an earlier date, and we are not requesting. We are demanding that the government respect the court's orders. Yes. We are demanding that the court treats its people like its citizens, not to subject us to servitude.
Tuko hapa leo kama walimu wa junior secondary tukisema ya kwamba sisi aturudi shule sababu malipo yale ambayo tunalipwa hayawezi kundumu kuhitimu malipo.
Things were the same in Homa Bay County, where the teachers came out and defend the authorization of the permanent basis and pension payment for teachers who graduated training by the Teachers Service Commission.
Hata hivyo kama Petro Homa Bay County tutasimama kidete na JSS Homa Bay. Wote mpaka waajiriwe kwa hali ya kudumu, permanent and pensionable.
In Makueni County, the teachers have also vowed not to return to work until the government fulfills their demands.
Koti ilisema tuajiriwe permanently na pia we should be compensated. for the work we did. So tafadhali serikali sikizeni kilio cha walimu wetu wa Kibwezi na walimu wote Kenya nzima.
Kirinyaga County, the teachers have asked the government to respect the court order's decision that ruled out contract employment by the Teachers Service Commission.
TSC ilipewa court order. Na hiyo court order ilikuwa inasema internship ni illegal
sana. Hatufai hata kuitwa intern, hata koti imesema hivyo, hatufai kuitwa intern. Ile mshahara ambayo tunapewa haitumudu maisha yetu. Sasa kama saa hii tuna struggle kwa sababu ile mshahara hata tunapewa, inakatwa alafu unabaki hakuna kitu.
Isaac Famba, TV47.
Thank you, Isaac, for that. The Kenya Union of Credit Savings and Cooperatives, Cusco board, alongside a number of top officials, have been dismissed after an alleged 5.5 billion shillings illegal withdrawal from member funds. The call made by the MSME and Cooperatives CS, Simon Cheligui, was based on revelations made by American audit firm Grant Thornton, which highlighted illegitimate transactions purportedly written off to creative non-existent projects and expenditures. The amount accounts for almost a third of the total funds held by the umbrella body. Our reporter Hibak Said with more.
In an unprecedented turn of events, the umbrella body representing all SACCOs, Cusco, has come under fire for misappropriation of member funds, illegal withdrawals, cash transfers, and engagement in illegal and/or unlicensed activities. The happenings, which Cabinet Secretary Simon Cheligui terms as quote-unquote creative and unreliable financial records, paved way for the revelation of systemic deficiencies in the management of resources.
Effectively, immediately, I, the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, hereby announce the dismissal of the current Board of Directors. Further, the Commissioner of Cooperative Development is directed, and who is present here, to appoint an interim board comprising of 15 members, drawn from esteemed leaders of affiliate cooperatives in accordance with the Cooperative Societies Act Cap 490, laws of Kenya. This interim board will be tasked with overseeing the transformation and rehabilitation of the union with the full support of dedicated technical team.
The audit done by American firm Grant Thornton revealed in detail how the oversight cost the firm around 6 billion shillings. That is yet to be justified. Cheligui further revealed that the officials in question will be surcharged in efforts to recover the lost amount to revitalize the already struggling organization.
We've also seen double purchases of land, of the same piece of land, amounting to 80 million shillings. And we have seen suspicious cash transfers to insurance agencies purported to be payment of commission for services rendered to insurance services amounting to 434 for 180 million and also 111 million and 67 million and 75 million to various insurance agencies that were purported to be offering insurance business. There were also heavy and big cash movement from Cusco accounts to their staff accounts.
Cusco, which has a membership of about 4,168 SACCOs, holds over 15 billion shillings, a third of which is now gone and unaccounted for.
We've also seen double purchases of land, of the same piece of land, amounting to 80 million shillings. And we have seen suspicious cash transfers to insurance agencies purported to be payment of commission for services rendered to insurance services amounting to 434 for 180 million and also 111 million and 67 million and 75 million to various insurance agencies that were purported to be offering insurance business. There were also heavy and big cash movement from Cusco accounts to their staff accounts.
The irregular cash transfers was written under housing, dispensed by the company secretary, and to insurance agencies when the organization has never been licensed to offer insurance services in the first place. Now the fate of the former board members and select officials lies in the balance. Hibak Said for TV47.
Thank you, Hibak Said, for that report, which leads us to a short break right here, 14 minutes past the hour. And just to remind you, tonight we host Professor Engineer Bansi Mati. She is a professor at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, that is JKUAT, and we shall be discussing demystifying floods and water management in the wake of the recent floods. Do stay with us.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus nikoniwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue. Mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The counties of Nyandarua, Mandera, Wajir, Baringo, Embu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kajiado and Kisumu are likely to feel the full wrath of Mother Nature as the weatherman forecasts enhanced rains will hit these counties, with predictions of heavy rainfall to pound the east and west parts of the Rift Valley and the Lake Victoria Basin. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua urging county chiefs to deploy necessary resources to protect the lives of Kenyans. Here is Moiga William with a detailed report.
The weatherman has released a list of 9 counties that they are likely to face adverse effects of enhanced rainfall, with the counties of Nyandarua and Embu especially vulnerable to experience mudslides, and counties of Mandera, Wajir, Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kajiado and Kisumu to record possible flooding in the coming days.
We expect afternoon and night showers and thunderstorms over several places during the first half, and this will reduce in coverage as we move towards the end of the 7 days.
The forecast by the weatherman during the review of the emergency response of the ongoing flood situation paints a gloomy picture of the weather situation that the country has to grapple with as the flood crisis enters week 4.
The challenge we are facing today is heavy. We are not able to sleep. Calls are coming from across the country. Everybody is asking for food and non-food items.
For the last now almost 2 weeks, what we are facing is a huge food crisis. Food crisis, not only for Garissa, but for the entire northern Kenya, Your Excellency.
The situation at hand necessitated the Deputy President to call for more support from development partners, with the United Nations contributing more than 900 million Kenya shillings towards aiding the national government in mitigating the effects of floods.
The climate emergency is exacting a terrible price from Kenya, a country that didn't create the climate emergency.
We hope that we will not have much loss of life. We hope we will not have much damage to property.
The Ministry of Interior has deployed 3 police and 3 civilian aircrafts in response to dealing with urgent cases of floods, where the government records 40 counties to be affected by floods.
We have gone out of our way. Our small kitties have run out. The communities are crying to us, and therefore they are waiting for the outcome of this meeting, because we had told them tunaenda kwa baba.
With the flood crisis expected to heighten in the coming days, a clarion call has been made for the national government, county governments and development partners to work hand in hand so as to contain the situation. Mwege William, TV47, Nairobi.
Of course, that story will form part of my discussion tonight with my guest, none other than Professor Bansi Mati, a professor at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, will be assessing how to harness this water. President William Ruto on Monday evening toured Mathare in Nairobi County to assess the flooding situation and check on the victims displaced amid heavy downpours experienced in different parts of the country. He addressed locals, assuring them of government support, as Chichi Josephine now tells us.
After weeks of floods affecting Mathare residents and forcing some to spend hours on top of their houses, President William Ruto finally visited the slum to assess the extent of the damage. The president announced that each affected family will receive an amount of 10,000 shillings to find alternative accommodation for 3 months, in addition to a care package.
Wale wote households 40,000 hapa Nairobi ambayo wamehamishwa kwa sababu ya safety yao, kila boma serikali tutawapatia shilingi 10,000 ya kutafuta makao mahali mtakaa mkingojea mpango ya serikali.
Ruto added that affected families will be given priority in the distribution of 28,000 affordable houses, which will be announced soon for construction, noting that 1 billion shillings will be used in the construction of new schools and classrooms that have been damaged by floods in Nairobi.
Nataka niwatangazie hapa Nairobi, serikali tumetoa shilingi bilioni 1 ya kujenga mashule yenu upya. Tuhakikishe ya kwamba kila mtoto wa Nairobi na kila mtoto wa sehemu zingine za Kenya wanarudi shuleni pale tutakapofungua shule, wapate shule yao iko sawasawa, ndio mtoto wa Kenya asikose mahali ya kusoma. Wale watu wote ambao wametoka katika riparian reserve, wale watu wote ambao watahama manyumba yao ili waepuke janga hii, watakuwa ndio priority list yetu wakati tunawapatia ile mpango ya housing kupitia kwa social housing.
However, the president emphasized on evacuation of people living near river reserves to safer places.
Tutasaidiana na wananchi to evacuate and to make sure that we relocate all citizens in riparian reserves for their safety, so that we can protect them in a different place where we have relocated them. There will be enough food for them.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Thank you, Chichi, for that. A signing partnership between Africa Guarantee Fund, AGF, and Kenya Women Microfinance Bank PLC, KWFT, was conducted today at KWFT Center in Canberra in a bid to strengthen women entrepreneurs' access to finance in Kenya. With AGF, it aims to facilitate economic development and poverty reduction in Africa, while KWFT seeks to provide financial services to thousands of families, enabling them to uplift their living standards. Thus, this cooperation between the two organizations is not only to enhance and empower women entrepreneurs, but also grow and learn from each other.
All right, let's exchange, that's handshake, a handshake between the two CEOs. Thank you.
Today, we witnessed the signing of a 725 million Kenya shillings risk-sharing partnership agreement between the Africa Guarantee Fund and the Kenya Women Microfinance Bank. And this is roughly about $5.5 million US. The aim of this risk-sharing agreement is to boost financial inclusion for women-owned or women-led on small and medium enterprises in this country. The partnership aims to unlock up to 3 billion Kenya shillings for these women-owned enterprises. That's about 22 million US. And this funding aims to support up to 1,000 women-owned enterprises in the country, and we are hoping that through this, we will contribute significantly in reducing the funding gap that we know the women-owned enterprises are facing in this country.
SME, as we all know, also face many challenges, and the most critical challenge that they face is access to finance. And this is why today AGF and GOtv are joining forces to find solution when it comes to this main challenge that is access